the top was paid by everyone I want all over. I realize now how I felt off the world, knowing who I was and what I become. This is how the story goes. When you fly too close to the sun, you will see, you will get shot down, crucified by your greed. Now all I own is me, no fancy cars, no company. I burned my bridges long ago. I lost the woman I love the most. The pound signs blinded my eyes. Girl, do you remember me? This is how the story goes. When you fly too close to the sun, you will see, you will get shot down, crucified by your greed.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I'm just going to turn that down because I got a nice echo going on. Hearing my own voice, just a slight delay, something we talked about in the last live stream, away from effects. We are into the live stream. Hello, you guys in the live chat room. I can see you in there. And let me give a quick shout out because I always leave it a little bit late. So we have Vera, Julesy, and it's gone through too quickly. Cindy, Howard, Billy, Christine, Bob's in there, Bella, Terry, and Bob again, Anna, Dawn, 123 Rockchild, Billy, Lucy, Tammy, Vera, Debbie as well, Pamela, Bev's in there, Corey, Deborah, Joe, Cathonia, Elaine. Hello. Thank you for joining me. It's always difficult to keep an eye on the names because they go quite slowly and then go really quickly. And it's just selecting the top chat, so maybe that's going through even more slowly than it should be going through. But let me just get the whole live chat on screen so I can see anything that goes through. I can see Laura saying, hi, Wings of Pegasus. Hello, everybody in that live chat room. Now, here in the UK, we've just had a storm, and I think we're going through a storm at the moment, or we had a storm, and the storms are now getting names, which is something that we've never had before, but they're so strong that they're now being named, or at least they started somewhere else and had a name, and now they're getting to the UK. So, we had a storm, I think, well, we had all the flooding, that was definitely a storm, and then we had another storm, and then I think that storm's gone away, even though the wind is just crazy at the moment, and I can hear it outside, so if I lose internet connection, then that's what that's all to do with, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be okay for the live stream, but there's another storm coming through, so that'll be the third one, and this one, fortunately, is going to miss out the south of England, but it's going to hit the north of England and Scotland, and yeah, they're getting kind of amber warnings and yeah, really serious. So people are going to have to put, I don't know, we've never really had to do this before, but put pieces of wood over the windows and stuff, and you know, it's all a bit crazy, but this seems to be the weather that we're getting nowadays, which is a bit of a shame. But like I said, this storm is just going to miss the south, so hopefully I'll get away with it. But this wind and storm that we've had outside at the moment, yeah, it is still a bit crazy, and used to be a bit of a random kind of once every few years kind of thing, and maybe it's going to be every single year that we're getting this. Who knows? We'll have to wait until next year to see if it is going to be a consistent thing, and it might be even worse. Hopefully it isn't. And I know that there has been serious weather all around the world, but over in the USA as well, so hopefully you guys are safe and you're just taking all of the precautions necessary to make sure that, yeah, you're staying out of the elements. This is the other thing, that when there's crazy weather outside, I don't understand people that go outside. I mean, other than an absolute necessity that you've got to go and get food or water or something, or you're going to get a loved one and save them, bring them home, all that kind of stuff. But people that actually go out to look at the weather of how severe it is, I've just got this image, especially in winds that are 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. I've just got this vision of something flying through the air and hitting you on the head, and then that's it. And just because you wanted to go and look at the weather, that you've been very unlucky, but then you say, well, you were unlucky, but you did go out there. It's a lot safer within brick walls if you can stay inside. So that's always what I do. Maybe look out the window, but that's about as extravagant as I get. But then you've got thrill seekers like people that I've seen who get in their vehicles and chase tornadoes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd be a little bit worried that it turns around and starts coming towards you. Because can you outrun a tornado? I don't know. Well, I doubt it on foot, but yeah, maybe if you had a fast car or a van or whatever they use. So yeah, I prefer to stay away from all of that. But anyway, that's what's going on. So we are prepared if we lose connection, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm listening out for the wind, and I can still hear it, but sometimes it gets really loud, but it seems to have died down a little bit, so that is good. Anyway, getting on with tonight's live stream. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So, a huge shout out to these amazing people at the bottom of the screen for making this all possible. I always say literally everything that I do on the channel. So, yeah, huge shout out to you guys. Oh, and while I'm on the topic of Patreon and something that I mentioned in the last live stream about making all of my videos or putting all of my videos into playlists and separating them up by dates as to when the performance was that we're looking at. Thank you for all of the messages. I'm going to do a post on Patreon regarding that because I know that some people have set up their own spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, and even some people have started looking through videos and making notes of the dates of when they happened and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for doing that, but I would say because there are so many videos, last thing I want is for somebody to spend ages, and it does take a long time to watch a video and find when it, because sometimes the performance isn't really easy to find out exactly the date that it happened. So I don't want people to go through, say, 10 or 20 videos and spend a couple of hours or a few hours on it, and somebody else is doing exactly the same thing. So I think there's going to be a way that we can organise it where one person does, X amount of videos, and then another person who might want to help gets involved and does the next section of videos, and we just kind of do it like that, gradually add to one spreadsheet, and then we'll have, everything organised. So I would say the other thing is, unless I specifically ask you to email me directly, then just look out for the post on Patreon, because I know a lot of people have emailed as well, so thank you for that. But I do get a lot of emails every day that are nothing to do with the channel. It's all about sponsorship emails and people making requests for future analysis videos. So when I get an influx of extra emails on top of the emails that I already get, especially at the moment because we've gone up another 1,000 subscribers in a couple of days, so I'm getting a lot of messages, and it's almost like a tidal wave if you add any more messages onto that. So thank you guys for all of the extra emails, but I think unless I say to email me, and sometimes I might say in the future, if people want to get involved with a particular project, email this address, because then I would have set it all up so that all of the emails go specifically to that place, so then I can keep it organized rather than all of the emails coming in with all the other emails from the world about my channel and my music and questions about, guitars and vocal mics and all that kind of stuff. So yes, unless I specifically request emails, I'd say if you could just hold off for the moment, that would be good, because it allows me just to keep things organized and keep my workload as small as possible for then when I do a post about it, then we can get organized. And even then, if I need you to email me about something, then I'll ask you guys to email me. But yeah, I will certainly ask you for that. So anyway, thank you guys for getting involved. I'm tending just to answer with, I am going to do a post on Patreon. So that's what most of you guys would have had a reply, whether it be on Patreon or email. But yeah, thank you for all of the interest. I think it's great that we've got the interest, that we might be able to do it, and it's just getting it organized so that we're doing it in the most efficient way possible. Because I think it might, if we get enough people that are willing to help out, it might just be a case that every person will only have to do a few videos, and it won't take that long, or at least whenever somebody gets a chance to do it, they can sit down and get through a few videos, and then that gets added to a list, and I can look at that list periodically and just gradually add them to the playlist. So yeah, that's going to be a way of doing it. But yes, we will organize it, and you'll know when I'm organizing it, because I'll be very clear over on Patreon. So yeah, we'll do that in the future. Let me get the other things up on screen that we normally have. During the live stream, we do aim for a total of likes, and the likes goal for tonight is 385. So yeah, these targets are super high recently, so if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. And if we hit that target, we're going to have a FilJam, and I can't remember updating this, so I think it might be 106. I'm going to take a gamble on that. So 106, there you go. Now it's official, and I might be able to see Joe's message somewhere. 106 it is, and 10 minutes 21. So well, I need a whole new live stream just for the FilJam if we hit the target. So yes, if you can hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be great. And we are at, let's get the lights goal up on screen, 198 so far. Almost at 200. 203 now. So thank you guys for that. It means we're looking for 182. That's the maths done at the beginning of the live stream. And I can see Joe's just saying FJ106. So that was, I looked at it just to check anyway. So thank you for that. And I can see Red 5 said Mr. Sucks. Because we have the vote for tonight's cover video as well. And that's between Lay It on the Line and Broken Wings by Mr. And yeah, well, Mr. was one of those bands that when I was growing up, very much in my wheelhouse of bands that I was into because of that melodic hard rock kind of sound. So yeah, in my opinion, they don't suck at all. Hence why I did a cover of Broken Wings, and I did a cover of Don't Slow Down as well. So yes, this is the great thing about music. Everyone has a different opinion and it's all subjective. So yeah, I love a bit of Mr. Anyway, I'm sure maybe there are other people that have listened to Mr. It's a band actually that when I talk about their songs and people don't necessarily know Mr. as a band, or Kyrie was another I say massive hit, or just I think bands that you're into, you just assume that everybody knows these songs that you know, and you go, oh wow, yeah, oh I love this song, and they'll say, who are Mr. and I go, what? But I've had that before in the past with especially guys that were into 80s metal bands, and they might say a name of a band that they're really into, but then I've actually never heard of, because there were so many hard rock bands in the 80s, because it's just an explosion of it. There were so many that sometimes a few flew under your radar, and you just can't listen to that much music all at the same time. So yeah, it does tend to happen. And in my experience, especially here in the UK, and maybe that's something to do with it, maybe the I don't know, maybe the market or the population weren't exposed to Mr. Mister that much. It's probably more of a thing that my dad was listening to, and then therefore it's in the collection, so then I was listening to it as well. But yes, I am a fan of Mr. Mister, whoever that person was that went past. This is, like I said, the great thing about music. Everybody likes some things and other people don't like things. It's all subjective. And talking about that, I am going to, I'll quickly get up on screen as well, the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic. And maybe leaving a comment, introduce yourself into that live stream. That's how we get to know each other during these live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday. So if you can't resist donating, I think it's important that you know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, and you can find that in the description below. You can also get your hands on any merchandise. Here we have the Spike the Likes mug tonight, and I've actually got 2 mugs here, because this one was already here, and this one, because I was massively behind my schedule today, it meant that while setting up the live stream, I was having my coffee at the same time, and I usually have my coffee about an hour earlier in the day, but I thought, do I miss out having the coffee? And I thought, actually, I better not, because it's such a regular part of my day and my schedule. I think that if I didn't have the caffeine, my body might go... I don't know, my body might go into shock or something. But certainly, because I go to bed at pretty 5:30 or 6 in the morning, having my coffee about 9 in the evening, for me, that's still quite early. And I know that people that go to bed at sensible times, at like 11, they probably wouldn't be having coffee at 9 because they're just about to go to bed. But yeah, I find that when I have it at about 9, it then sees me through until 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I am tired when I go to bed. So that's just the reason why I have it when I have it. So right, there have been donations. We will be jumping into those, and the first of which, actually, no, Orlando donated first with $2 in the Super Chat window. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, don't forget to spike the likes. Great idea there. If you can hit the thumbs up, that would be great. Helps the channel to grow, but also for this live stream to get out there a little bit more as well. And we have been growing, and that's a good little segue, if that's what it's called, into this donation from Paul, who donated $2 and said 341,000 subscribers. Yay! Spike the likes, all y'all. So let's get this up on screen. We've gone up by another 1,000. 1,000 subscribers is just a huge amount of subscribers, so thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. Obviously 341,000 subscribers is more than 1,000, but I always say that just 1,000 people is an amazing amount of people to get involved, and that's happened since Saturday. So this tends to happen on the channel every now and again. We have these fits and spurts of suddenly getting lots of subscribers, then it'll calm down a bit, then we'll suddenly get more subscribers, then it'll calm down a bit. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think some of that might be to do with the fact that I'm pointing out pitch correction and auto-tune, but more recently just pitch correction of artists, and then getting an influx of emails and requests, and even my previous request list, because we've done pitch correction before. I think I'm getting through just a batch of pitch correction requests of artists that have they been pitch corrected? Is this pitch corrected? Is this group pitch corrected, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think maybe because lots of other channels are looking at these performances and artists and aren't saying actually what we're hearing, or why we're hearing what we're hearing, or even what it is, which I think is quite important to point that out. That if it isn't actually the noise that was made, then it's an important thing, at least for me, especially being a musician myself. I think that's the first thing that you need to know is, what are we listening to? Because you could listen to something and then they pull back the curtains and it wasn't even a band, it's just AI doing it. So they think, well, okay, well, yeah. So you then form your opinion on what you've heard from what it came from. And I think that's what everybody does. But anyway, let's move on with the live stream tonight, because there have been donations, even though I say you don't have to donate, but thank you guys, it is much appreciated. Stardust Unicorn has donated $2.99, and it says vibes. I think it's always very small on the screen, but I remember that from one before. Jennifer donated $7 as well. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, is there a story behind greed? Have you thought about doing Phil tunes on your experiences with YouTube? Thanks for Monkey's video. So thank you for that. And yeah, the Phil tunes, I haven't thought about doing any of them on YouTube, and I know this is probably referring to Troll Corner that we had in the last live stream. And thank you guys for all of the messages about Troll Corner, and I know a lot of people have been coming up with names for the troll, and I don't have any plans to name the troll at the moment because I don't think it's something we're going to be having regularly, but I do think it's an important thing to bring up because, and we might just, I tell you what, we'll jump into Troll Corner tonight, but not that I'm going to be mentioning anything about trolls because I am very lucky with the amount of trolls that I get on the channel. It doesn't tend to be that many. The reason that I did Troll Corner last time is because there was a bit of a, barrage of trolls that were messaging me, and I think it's important to shine a bit of a light on it. Not only for me, kind of, having a cathartic effect of just releasing things and letting people know what I'm going through and the kind of messages that I do receive and now and again, but I think for other people to know, because especially musicians and other YouTubers, independent artists, there will be trolls, and I think everyone's going to have to find their own way of dealing with it. And sadly, it's something that it is probably going to happen if you find yourself being watched by thousands of people. And in this case with my channel, it's now a bit crazy because it's hundreds of thousands of people. So yeah, in amongst that audience, or not actually, no, not within the subscribers, but in amongst the audience of just people watching the videos, there are going to be some people that just are a keyboard warrior and they just suddenly feel really strong, and they want to put across their negative points, and they just want to get a bit of abuse out of their system from the safety of their own home, sitting behind a screen. So I think it is an important thing to talk about, but we'll talk about it in a second, because I did do a new troll intro and an outro, just because I was trying to figure out a better way to do it. Rather than having the music going the whole time for the length of when I was talking, just have an intro and an outro. So that's what I made. And it took me quite a long time to do because I haven't really done any animation in the past, apart from the Phil tunes, but trying to get a troll to kind of bounce across the screen and stuff. You'll see it in a second. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And the story behind greed, not really. Again, it's like Percy Johnson. It's just a fictional thing of imagining somebody in a situation, and yeah, in greed it was taking on the personality of someone who maybe got really successful, got loads of money, had fast cars and a mansion and all of that kind of stuff, but then they started valuing the lifestyle and all of the things that they bought rather than the relationships with the people that got them to where they were. So that was the thinking behind greed and the lyrical content of that song. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And Robin has donated $20. Thank you for that, Robin. It is a straight up donation, and there's another donation from Robin as well for $20 straight after, so thank you for that. And the message is, I'd love it if you could review the great Roy Buchanan sometime soon. So thank you for that. And yes, Roy is one of those guitarists that I looked at, probably 3 or 4 years ago now. So yes, certainly, I might have looked at Roy a couple of times. So yeah, he will be on the channel here somewhere, so you can have a search for him if you want, Robin, but thank you for that. And Jennifer's donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message is, Phil, still the best bands ever, Funk Brothers and The Wrecking Crew, but that is just my humble opinion. Please don't blow away. So thank you for that. And I can see Michael's just come in and donated $1.99. So thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, so curious why you go to bed at 6 a.m. So that's just how long it takes me to get through everything. And I've already said in this live stream about the amount of emails that I get, and it's only me doing everything. So when it's an admin day, for example, getting through all of the admin, which I do on a Monday and a Thursday, that will take me from when I get up through till 6 a.m. and then I go to bed. And on a video day, it's just exactly the same thing. So I'll wake up, I'll start doing the research for the video, and then the video recording can take anywhere between 6 and 12 hours, depending on how many gremlins are in the system. If I have technical problems, that's when a video can take like 12 hours, or I think 16 hours is the record. So yeah, it's just literally taken the whole day. And then, yeah, after those 16 hours, then I go to bed. So yeah, on the video days, it's just literally every second of the day is taken up. And that's just how long it's taking. And of course, when I first started, or when things started to get a little bit busier and things started to take off, I used to go to bed at maybe 2:30 or 3. And of course, people said, "Oh, wow, why do you stay up till 2:30 or 3 in the morning?" And I just said, well, that's just as long as it takes me to get through everything. And of course, now, a couple of years later, as the channel has grown, it just means that I need to do 3 more hours worth of work every day to fit everything in. So it's just purely that. It's just logistically, I can't fit it in without having to stay up that late. And another thing is that with the live stream, for example, I know that placing it is really difficult so that people can watch from the different countries that watch the channel. And I know that a lot of people do tune in from the USA. So I try, and I know that there are different time zones in the USA. So I try and find a time where people can tune in who watch the channel, and it isn't like, for example, here, 8 o'clock in the evening would mean that I'd be doing a live stream, 3 hours earlier. And if I was to do it in the afternoon or in the morning, it means that most people are asleep. So that's another thing, that by doing the live stream now, it means that most people can tune in, or at least a lot of people can tune in. It kind of is better schedule wise. And because generally I'm up for the next 5 or 6 hours after a live stream, it means that I can still go away and get all the things done that I need to for today before then getting into tomorrow. And tomorrow, of course, is a video day, and it's also a, hopefully, fingers crossed, fixing day for my car charger. And this is the other thing, when things like that happen, where I've now got to be with an electrician and he's going to try and fix or replace my car charger, that's all time that I don't usually have. So that then has a bit of a knock-on effect for videos and planning. And I'm doing a video for tomorrow night, so I'll release that, and then Thursday you'll be then kind of catching up with the admin. So yeah, it's just literally the time. It's just the way that it's worked out. But thank you for that, Michael. And we have actually, I will jump over into PayPal because we have had some donations over there. But this is the other thing about Troll Corner. I tell you what, let's just jump into Troll Corner just because I want to show this intro, even though I'm not going to be talking directly about trolls. But let's jump into it. And here we are. So I don't know whether that worked or not, but there should have been a little bit of music with it. So yeah, in Troll Corner, something that I was going to say that is important, because I've received a message and somebody said, oh, why don't you just ignore the messages from the trolls? That seems to work for other people. And I did reply saying that I think other people are, probably most people are in a different situation where they've got maybe a team of people, or maybe a manager or an agent or somebody that deals with their social media sites. So it means that the messages that come through, the person that they're aimed at isn't reading all of them. So the difference that I have is that I do everything. So unfortunately, every single message that I receive through any social media or my email addresses, and my website's got a contact us form on it. It's contact me, but it says contact us because that's just how the website works. So I get all of those emails. I get the emails through for Wings of Pegasus. I also get sometimes the personal emails, phil@wingsofpegasus.com. So yes, I get all of these emails, and then comments on the social media sites and YouTube, of course. So everything I'm seeing. So it means that if there are any troll comments, troll emails, I'm reading them all. Whereas other people that might have a team or a social media site manager, that person's reading all of them, so it doesn't really affect the person too much. I mean, they might have an Instagram and see messages on there, but I'd say that that's a tiny percentage if they were to look at every message that's coming through for them if they didn't have a team or social media managers. So that's, I think, a huge part of it. That I think it's an important thing that people who do everything themselves have to deal with, because you're taking on all of that potential, trolling and negativity as one person. So I have spoken with people in the past who might have large YouTube channels, and I remember talking with Michael Palmisano, for example, and this wasn't part of an interview or anything. We just did a video call to kind of catch up with each other, and it's something that you talk about because somebody else who's got a lot of subscribers, they go through the same thing, and how you deal with it is just unique from one person to the next. So I know that the way that Michael dealt with it and deals with it is by pinning troll comments to the top of the comment section so everyone can see it, and of course everyone can then lay into the troll if they want to. And yeah, everyone does it a different way. I don't do that, and I don't even really feel the need to say, oh, it was this person and this is their username and all that kind of stuff. I just find that dealing with it in a humorous way, such as getting this guy up on screen and not really calling out anybody, but just saying in general, these are some of the messages that I've received. I find for me, and dealing with it in a humorous way, that works for me, and yeah, it just helps me to kind of keep on pushing forward, and it doesn't really bother me once I've dealt with it in a humorous way. And I think it's actually dangerous, probably for your own mental health, if you don't address it in some way and you just keep these things adding to your mind, kind of the negativity. I'm a firm believer in, you've got to release. You've got to have some kind of release for the negative things that might happen with, being part of a channel or owning a channel that will get potentially a lot of messages. But like I said, I think I am lucky with it. So this is why it's certainly not going to be a regular thing. And I know that sadly, and there's nothing really that I can do about it, calling out and just saying what something is about a particular singer, for example. If I say they're using pitch correction, that's just stating a fact. That's not me, having a go at somebody. And if somebody then thinks that for saying that, I now deserve some kind of punishment or abuse, I can't help stating a fact. And I think that there are some facts that are maybe difficult for some people to digest. And that still doesn't detract from the fact that it is a fact. So yeah, and especially with music, and maybe if you are a really big fan of a particular artist and then you don't like it that I've pointed out that they're using pitch correction, for example, then I can't do anything about that. So yeah, but I'm still going to be honest about it, and if it is being used in exactly the same way as I say, the first chord of this progression is an A major, that is a fact. Somebody doesn't then come in and say, oh, I can't believe that you said it was an A major, because everyone knows it is. So it's just a fact. It's exactly the same thing, with pitch correction and auto-tune. It's just a fact. So there's nothing really that I can do about that. And if people think that I then deserve some kind of abusive message because I've pointed that out, then that's just something that they've done. And for me to kind of deal with that, I think just having some kind of way to show that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, as Rocky would say, I think it's important people know that, especially for other people that might be dealing with it, that think that they're the only one getting it, whether they're a musician and, like I said, or just a YouTuber. So it is a regular thing, and I do think it's important you find a way that you can just let it go and deal with it. And yeah, humour is the way that I have chosen to do it. So with that said, let's get rid of Mr. Troll and jump into these PayPal donations. So let's see if this works. I don't know whether you can hear the music, but hopefully you can. Maybe let me know in the live chat room. There should be some of me playing the Mugabe. This is just me playing the guitar. So I hope you guys like it. I tried to play it a little bit kind of bouncy to go with the imagery. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a second. So there we have it. We are out of Troll Corner now. Jumping into the PayPal donations. Let me just make sure that I don't miss any out here. It is Roderick who donated £3. So thank you for that, Roderick. And that is a straight up donation. Roseanne has donated £5. Thank you for that, Roseanne. The message is, Hi Phil. If you could time travel, would you rather go ahead 70 years and visit your nephews as old men, or go back 70 years and visit your grandparents and great-grandparents? So thank you for that, Roseanne. And, I mean, this is a difficult one because, sadly, I'd like to think that going ahead 70 years means it would be a more peaceful time and that humans have actually realised that going to war is just absolutely idiotic and you don't gain anything from it. And that, yeah, I don't know, the desire for land and power is irrelevant to the human race and longevity and the survival of the human race. So, anyway, I'd like to think going ahead 70 years would be good, that maybe it would be more peaceful. But, you know, if we're to draw any parallels or conclusions from the last 70 years, going back 70 years, then, yeah, that'll put us in and around... Well, I've got to do maths now. But, so 70 years from, what, 2020 would be 1930? Would it be? Or maybe 1950? So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I think it'll be 1950, 70 years from 2020, going back. So, yeah, around that time, thankfully, you know, the Second World War had finished. But if we're to draw a parallel with that, so from 1950 to now, if we learn our lesson with wars, you could say absolutely, conclusively, the human race didn't learn anything from that. So, yeah, in the next 70 years, what's to say anything will change? So, sadly, maybe going back 70 years, at least I know that that's a point at which it would be safer because... yeah, the Second World War has finished and maybe people are starting to, for the first time, get a bit of a taste of what peace is like. So, yeah, it might be good to go back there, but then you're still dealing with, you know, the war and the after effects of it. So, yeah, I don't know. The problem with humans is, yeah, going back 70 years or forward 70 years, you don't know what you're going to get. So, I would say maybe just go forward 70 years to see what the technology is like, because I'm sure that crazy things would have happened, especially with AI. But again, if we're thinking about wars, like I know the first breakthrough in AI is going to be used for a weapon to get an advantage over other humans. So yeah, sadly, it might be like Terminator. I'll appear and there'll be nobody there but machines. I mean, the more you watch or think about the Terminator movies, the more they make sense. That the computers would think, well, the humans are killing each other. So in order for the humans to stop killing each other, the humans have to be killed. They're the ones that are ruining the planet. So the machines can do a better job of looking after the planet. What they would have to try and figure out, though, is how to plug themselves in and recharge themselves. But if we're talking about 70 years... you know, they've got self-driving cars now, so why could you not have a self-driving robot that can pick up a plug and plug itself in to the wall and just make sure, you know, get other computers and robots that, you know, fix the, you know, electricity and the internet if it all goes wrong, because the internet is how they would use, or what they would use to communicate with each other, because that's worldwide. So, yeah, everything's in place. Anyway, so I'd go forwards. Thank you for that, Roseanne. A bit of a long answer to that question. Tammy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 341,000 subscribers. What has been your most rewarding experience as a musician? Rock. So thank you for that. And I mean, I generally always tend to give the same answer to these kinds of questions where people say, yeah, what's your biggest achievement, or what's the most rewarding thing that, you know, you've got from music and all that kind of stuff. And I would say that my only goal ever was to do music full time, to do something that I enjoyed doing and be able to not do another job. And that's something that I always aimed to do. It took me a long time to get there, but I think the fact that it did take 15 plus years. I mean, if you count the first time I started playing the guitar, then it's kind of more 30 years. But I think when it does take a long time to then get to where you want to be, it's just so much more rewarding, because you know what it's like to have to work and pay rent and try and do what you want to do in your time off. That's kind of the tough bit, that a lot of people just think, right, I can't work all day and then focus a few hours on doing the other thing that I want to do. It does take kind of a lot of dedication, and you've got to have the life circumstances to be able to do that in the first place, because some people have kids and might just have to keep on working to afford the rent and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you've got to have the situation to even allow that in the first place, and if you do have the situation, then you've got to kind of just buckle down and put in the hours, just really believe in what you want to achieve. So I would say the most rewarding thing is literally here where I am now, and having you people watching, tuning into the live streams, because it's the final destination of all of the previous 15 plus years of daily work. So yeah, that's the rewarding bit for me. So yeah, thank you, Tammy, for that donation. Debbie's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 341,000 subscribers. Do you think bands like the Monkees were precursors to the boy bands of the 90s? You are amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And I mean, this is a difficult one, because the recent video that I did on the Monkees, which is quite recent, I think that was just on Sunday, but the interesting thing about them is the idea was for a TV show, and they had people that they wanted in the show who weren't necessarily musicians. And I mean, Mike and the video that we did on Sunday, talking about playing the guitar and singing and all that kind of stuff, I think they probably have, and certainly a couple of them had the ability to sing and play an instrument, but then it wasn't like just having a full band that could instantly perform live and all that kind of stuff, and write songs. I know that a lot of people commented saying that it's not really controversy, but the reason they weren't seen as a band was because of not writing their own songs and that kind of stuff. But for me, I think it was probably a bit of that. And obviously I can't go back to the 1960s and say exactly what it was, because I wasn't there. But as a musician looking back, I think they would have probably also got a little bit of a little bit of criticism or stick for not being the full band, and the fact that they had the TV show, and it was really about the TV show and the songs on the TV show and all that kind of stuff, that was very much used as a marketing tool. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe professionally they weren't seen as fully fledged musicians because of the TV show and the way that it was done. But then that's what I love about looking at performances like that, because when you dive into it, and I believe that was 1969, was it? I forget the video on Sunday. But when you jump into the video and you analyze it musically from that artistic perspective, that you can say, they are singing in harmony with each other. We've got somebody playing the guitar at a technically impressive level. So this is what I love looking back at those kinds of videos, because it really does give you an appreciation of where we are now in the industry, where there are so many videos we've done recently with pitch corrected vocals. So it means that the vocal wasn't quite close enough, so it's been moved closer to the note. You didn't have that option in the 1960s, but certainly, pre-1997, anything was really off the table. If we're talking about digital pitch correction and auto-tune, it wasn't really advanced enough. You had to do it all analog with tape, like speeding up tape, slowing down tape. And you couldn't literally do it word by word of correcting the pitch of a performance. So this is why, I do say in that video, it's ironic that in order to or the fake band, the pretend band, was seen as, you know, being fake, but they were actually doing it. You still couldn't really fake it back then. So, I mean, it's interesting because you could make the argument, everyone says the music was better back in the day, you know, before maybe even the 90s, before digital, you know, and maybe, you know, the 80s technically, things started becoming more digital then. But yeah, you can make that argument that everything was better before all of the technology existed. And if you're literally analysing it and saying, well, technically that is a true statement, that you had to get close to the notes yourself, that they couldn't then say, oh, we messed up that performance, but don't worry, because now we can change it, and then people will hear the changed version. So you can make an argument for saying that music was more difficult to perform back in the day. You know, so it's an interesting argument, and this is why, you know, yeah, the whole pitch correction thing's very interesting to get into. But as for it being a precursor to the 90s bands, I think a lot of that was Milli Vanilli. Again, that's a whole nother thing, saying that what if they had the technology to pitch correct the guys' voices because they couldn't sing accurately? You know, would that have been seen as just as bad a thing? Because that's what's happening now. So if they had the technology then, would that have been okay? So Milli Vanilli really would have been a group of, you know, two guys that could sing. So yeah, as I said, that's now a blurred line as to whether that would have been acceptable. So why is pitch correction acceptable now if it wouldn't have been acceptable back then? But maybe today, if Milli Vanilli released a song, would it be as controversial if they tried to sing and they couldn't hit the notes, but then it got corrected? So it still was the noise they made. It's just not what, you know, not the pitch at which they made the noises. So yeah, that would have been interesting. But as for the 90s, getting back to the question, I would say that with bands and public figures, Simon Cowell was great at this, taking well-known people that might be even known for acting here in the UK and putting them together as now a vocal group. He would put them together knowing they already had the following from the TV shows they'd done, and they might not even be singers. So he'll put them together and release a song, obviously getting them to do as many takes as possible to get the accuracy of the vocal, but putting them together and making lots of sales because they're already famous. So yeah, Simon Cowell was great at doing that. He took loads of different personalities and actors and all that kind of stuff, and then turned them into, you know, number ones because they were already popular people. So that then turned into the boy bands thing of putting together 4 or 5 guys that looked good and could sing to a particular level, and then releasing songs. So I guess it's the same kind of thing. But what I'd say about boy bands is that was very much driven by, I'd say, the digital technology of being able to do lots and lots and lots of takes of a vocal, but the singers still had to hit the notes. They had to do as many takes as it took to hit the notes to then have a final product to then release. So they still had to do it. And I'd say that the driving force behind that wasn't that they were singing on a TV show and then releasing songs. They were just guys that looked good and could sing to an acceptable level, and then it was released. What then came after that is Simon Cowell then saw the opportunity to take what he'd done, and this is more of the Monkees TV show approach. He saw that you can take somebody who isn't known, who's really talented, and make them into a celebrity by filming them and showing them every week on a talent show. So the final winner of the talent show is now a celebrity because people have seen them over the course of 10 or 12 weeks. Not only that, he could make celebrities out of maybe 3 or 4 people and get them all to record a song and release that. Therefore now he's got that perfect storm of what he did before with actors and celebrities, but now with actually good singers. He makes them into a celebrity and releases a song. And I've said this about Simon Cowell, it really is the perfect business model to make somebody who's unknown, who's a great singer, into a celebrity and then release songs and get them to sign a contract. That's the thing, because they didn't have anything before. And of course, people don't know about signing record contracts, and they think that it's all, you know, yeah, sunshine and rainbows, as I've already said in this live stream, not knowing that they owe that money now to Simon Cowell. So if they don't sell enough, they have to make that money back to him. So yeah, it is really a poisoned chalice if you're thinking about record deals just in general. But certainly taking talented people out of the public sector who might be working at a supermarket, they're pretty much going to sign anything because they really don't understand the business of music and copyright law and all that kind of stuff that Simon Cowell certainly does understand. So like I said, it's the perfect business model, and that's why he's now got quite a lot of money. Anyway, thank you for that, Debbie. And Lisa has donated £3.77 as well. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is for your videos, making my day a bit brighter. So thank you for that, Lisa. And Lynn has donated £56.48. So thank you for that, Lynn. And the message is, Phil, I got lucky and the taxman owes me this year. So thank you for that, Lynn, and join the club. I did a message on Patreon last night about my student loan, which gets taken out of my tax payments every year, but I paid it off last year. So that would have been last January I paid it off. So January of 2023. And then they need, I don't know why, but they need 6 months then to know that I've overpaid. So then after 6 months, which would have been July, they then are supposed to pay me back what I've overpaid in 3 weeks and at the latest 3 months. And I still haven't received that money. And yeah, I rang up yesterday. I think it was yesterday, I'm losing track, but I was on hold for 45 minutes to try and get this sorted out. And it's a significant overpayment. It's probably about $1,200 that they took that was more than I owed. So yeah, I rang up, and that's like, what, I think it's like £700 if you're in the UK. So it's a significant amount of money. So I rang up to try and find out, what is going on. And the guy that I've spoken to, is always, in my case, this always happens. He says, I'm looking at the system and what is on your file is something I've never seen before. There's an investigation going on at the moment with the, it's HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, that deal with all the tax, and that's the government. And they're doing an investigation, I think, to find where my money is, because it hasn't been paid back to me, and they haven't even approached me, because usually they're supposed to do that within 3 weeks, or at latest 3 months, to say, oh, you've overpaid, here's your money. But the money isn't there. And the guy for the student's loan, he says, I can see that you've overpaid. So the fact that they haven't contacted you, there's an investigation as to what's going on. So it's always the case with me. It's never a simple, and I have to now ring back. It's never a simple answer. I have to ring back the student loans company after they've got a reply from the government, and that'll be next week that I have to sit on hold again for probably at least 45 minutes and hopefully figure it out and maybe get my money back at some point. So thank you for that, Lynn, for the kind donation. But yeah, I certainly can appreciate that, but the opposite way around, or in terms of being owed something. Sadly, I haven't got the money that I'm owed yet. So thank you, Diane, as well, who donated £15.06, and that is a straight up donation, so thank you for that. And David donated £12.05, so thank you for that, David. And the message is, thank you for all your wonderful videos. Thank you for watching. And that goes to all you guys in the live chat room. So I can see David donated $2 as well and said, Phil, thank you for all you do. So thank you for that, David. And I didn't mention that the donation early from Robin was his 3rd super chat donation. So thank you for that. And then Michael's donation was his 1st. So thank you for that, Michael. And I know that because that's a big number 1 next to it. And Robin's had a big number 3 next to his donation. Right. We are at 5-2, technically 4-2, almost 3 minutes to midnight here in the UK. So we're going to be jumping into the cover video really soon. Karen donated $10. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, Simon Cowell put El Divo together about 20 years ago and have been very successful. His methods work. Also, did you get to start watching Get Back over Christmas? So thank you for that, Karen. And no, this is just going to be a running thing. That I think since Christmas, just everything's been ridiculously busy, and I mean it's good in that there's a constant trend of being busy, and I know for a fact that I used to get maybe 20,000 views a day, and that's when things were already kind of quite busy. So I was getting 20,000 views a day, and that's now up at least 60,000 views a day. So yeah, 60,000 views is quite a lot. And yeah, it's I think YouTube tells me in like it's 120 or 130,000 every 2 days in terms of the viewing figures. And considering where I started, you can imagine that that's now a lot more people, a lot more messages. So it just seems to have had this kind of upwards trend where we're just maintaining, you know, significantly more. And, you know, it just goes to show in the subscriber count that when you're going up 1,000 in a couple of days, it means that we're kind of maintaining a lot more views. I think it will slow down at some point, and yeah, that's always been the case over the last kind of 4 or 5 years. There's been peaks and troughs, but yeah, certainly since Christmas, it's just been all go. So I haven't really had time to sit down and think, right, let me just spend X amount of time watching something other than watching something at the same time as doing stuff, you know, answering emails or whatever. So when I watch it, I want to watch it actually watching it. So not doing anything at the same time. I want to kind of appreciate it. So yeah, and I'm going to wait until I have that opportunity to watch it. So thank you for that, Karen. And Ken has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Ken. And the message is, Phil, thanks for Morissette. Soyang, Erang alone, I will always love you, or bridge over troubled waters. So thank you for that. And I think that was another kind of request at the end of that. But thank you for that, Ken. And yeah, I mean, there are some amazing voices out there. But as I said in that video, the problem is finding the genuine performances and the genuine videos. And that is something that by doing the pitch correction videos, hopefully I'm helping with that people can find the actual performances from the ones, and this is the problem, that if somebody's got a great voice and then they use pitch correction, you know, I've had that in the past, that somebody might just give me a pitch corrected video, and of course I don't spend, you know, weeks or even days researching stuff. I do a new video for that day. So if somebody sends me something, I'm just going to analyze what I'm looking at, you know, and that's just what it is. And I'm just literally going to state facts about what I'm looking at. So if I find that it's been pitch corrected, then, you know, I'm just going to state that is the case. And it doesn't mean that, yeah, I'm not going through. I always seem to lean to the side of, if someone's got pitch corrected videos on their channel, there's a chance somebody's just going to see that and then discount them and think, oh, I don't like that pitch correction thing, I'm just going to listen to natural vocalists. That's the risk that you run as a vocalist using it. And it might be the case that I get asked to look at that, but I think as an artist, you know, you can't then be annoyed that it's been stated, because you are running that risk. If you want to be seen as a great singer, a great natural singer, then I don't know, don't pitch correct your videos. And I think that in the long run, that's going to make everything better, because it means now the audience is going to hear better voices. Like I said with Morissette, her voice is so much better than the pitch corrected version. So I think it's just a win-win. Maybe it'll get applied less and less. And certainly if everyone starts watching me and these videos, and they know that it can be pointed out really easily, then maybe artists will think, oh, I want to be known as a great singer, and maybe I'll focus on just giving people my voice and all of the emotion within it, rather than pitch correcting it and making the voice sound worse. I don't think they appreciate that it makes them sound worse, but hopefully if I keep on telling people that, then, you know, they might go back to the old way, and we'll get great voices coming back again. So anyway, thank you for that, Ken. And Jennifer donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, hope you get your money. My oldest brother was a government CPA. He would laugh at the song Taxman. Be thankful they don't take it all. So thank you for that. Right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, and let me end the poll. It says it's 50-50, so we're getting into decimal points here. Broken Wings has won with 50% of the vote, and it must have had 50 point something percent. So we're going to jump into this, and Elaine has donated $5 and said, time check, let's allow the mods to leave on time, folks. So thank you for that. And yes, I think, even though I say don't donate, thank you for all of the donations. It just takes me a long time to get through them, but I do try to get through them as quickly as possible. So here we go. We're going to be jumping into Broken Wings. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after for maybe the FilJam. We're looking for 14 more people to have a FilJam, so we do need the extra bit of time. So if we can get a thumbs up, if you haven't done that already in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated. And then we'll have a jam at the end of the live stream, which is coming up very soon. So it's a race against time. This is my version of Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you after rock.
Don't understand why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. This time may be the last, I fear, unless I make it all too clear. I need you so.
And there we have it. That was my version of Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. Thank you guys for requesting the cover videos for tonight. And Tutorial Poco has just donated $2.79, so thank you for that. And the message is, did you borrow the Les Paul in the cover video? So yes, I was over in Brazil, so that's where I was kind of doing all of that, and I didn't have my guitar with me, so yeah, I borrowed the Les Paul. So that's what all that was about. And I mean, this is the thing, even when I go away, I'm still doing stuff. So yeah, because I was in Brazil, I thought, oh, I'll take the camera, do some filming, do a cover video, and they'll just make it look a little bit different. So anyway, thank you for that, Tutorial Porco. And just quickly, Janice donated £36.90. Thank you for that, Janice. The message is, hi Phil, is it true that the more comments there are on a video, the better for the YouTube algorithm? If not, I will stop commenting. So thank you for that. And as I understand it, any interaction, even negative interaction, increases a video's reach or whatever. So it means that if more people are commenting and more people are liking, and I think probably positive is better than negative, but yeah, I mean, sometimes there might be somebody who's done a comment, just an absolutely valid comment, and then a troll comments back, and then they kind of get in a bit of an argument, and then somebody else comes in having a go at the troll. So there's like 30 or 40 or 50 comments. I think that all counts. So yeah, not that I want people to do 40 or 50 replies, and I would say with the trolls, just don't worry about replying to them. There's no point. Just leave it for Troll Corner. We'll deal with it that way. So yeah, you can't really take those kind of people seriously at all. But anyway, thank you for that, Janice. We are going to be jumping into the FilJam because we have hit the target of 385, and I've remembered, turn on the microphone. Getting the track would be quite good. Click on this.
Last year we switched.
Okay, let me mute that. And it is a video or an advert that I can skip, so let's skip on that. And this is a long one, like 10 minutes. I don't know if we'll make it all the way through this, but we'll give it a go. As for the levels, I'm not sure about this, so let me know. This is emotional power rock ballad backing track in C# minor, Whitesnake style. Okay, well, Whitesnake style, certainly something that I can relate to. So we're going to jump into this. It comes from Rock On Jam Tracks, and that's separate words. That's the channel that we're going to be listening to on YouTube. So for the levels, I do not know. Let me know in the live chat room. And being in C# minor, something about this guitar is, as you can see on the fretboard, even though it's marked on the side, I'm so used to playing a Fender Strat, and even on my Ibanez Geo, just having standard dots. So, so I might just not look at the guitar because, C# minor is one of those keys where it's just, you probably get, especially looking at flowers, you get more confused. Anyway. Can you hear this? Can you hear the guitar? Zoom out. Okay. Let me know if you can hear the guitar, because I don't know if you can hear this. Reading, Joe says you could be just a touch louder. Oh, and then sounds good, levels are good, sounds good, we can hear. Okay, rather than messing around, if you can hear it, I'll just kind of keep on going with it. See what happens. Hopefully, I'm just waiting for confirmation. We can hear level's great. Okay, I think we're okay. I might try something. I'm going to try a bit of wah-wah. Don't know if this is going to work or not. waiting for the tapping. It's a little bit. I've got to check how long this is going to go on for. Right, we've still got like 2 minutes left, so should we keep on going or should we call it a day? I'm just going to kind of keep going. Ending. And I got the ending. It sounded like it was going to finish then, and it did. So finally, we had a backing track that had an ending where the instrumentation was hinting that we're going to finish now, and it did. So that's actually really cool, that ending. So yeah, emotional. Oh, it's gone to another advert. Emotional power rock ballad backing track in C sharp minor, White Snake style. And as you could probably tell throughout that whole thing, I wasn't looking at my guitar. I was trying to avoid it as much as possible because these flowers are very confusing. So yeah, Rock On Jam Tracks. That's the channel to go to if you guys want to join in, jam along to that track as well. So, yes, thank you, Joe, as well, for sending me the backing tracks. Number 106, that was. So, plenty of FilJam tracks to be looked at over probably the last year or longer, but we will keep on pushing forward. And let me just make sure we are up to date here. It is Connie who has donated £25. So thank you for that, Connie. And the message is, wow, amazing jam and fun live stream. Thanks so much. So thank you for that, Connie. And yeah, I mean, White Snake style, that's the kind of thing that, yeah, I can get into. But generally, yeah, in C sharp minor, it's definitely not a standard key for White Snake. Not that I can remember, but the style very much was of that ilk, which is great. So, yeah, thank you for that donation. And yes, it is. Oh, it's 23 minutes past midnight. So I've got to go get organised and, yeah, get back into the swing of things. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. I'm going to be live streaming again on Saturday night, of course. So if you can join me, that's where I'll be. And it's 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, as always. So yeah, you can join me on Saturday and next Tuesday as well. Tuesday, I also live stream, as you can tell, because I'm live streaming now. So 11 p.m. again, same time on Tuesdays and Saturdays. All that's left for me to say is thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your week. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!